Hello, 3L scholars. So welcome back for part two of our verb review practice. Those of you who were in class the other day, we together got through the first few distance learners and the other cohort. This is the first time you've seen it. So in any event, so this is what we are doing for part two. You're conjugating each verb with the requested characteristics. Okay? So instead of me giving you a conjugated form and then you telling me the characteristics, we're just doing the reverse. So I give you a verb, I tell you the characteristics we're going to put it in, and then you conjugate it. Okay? So we'll go through the first couple like we have some of our other videos. We'll do the first few here together, and then I'll go ahead and show you the rest of them, the answers, so you get some time to work yourselves. All right, so for number one, we have the verb video, videre, vidi, visum, all four principal parts, and we're going to put it in the third person singular present indicative active. All right, I should point out a really good idea, whether you need it or not, is just to have with you your verb chart that we filled out together a few lessons ago. This will be really helpful just to have handy, to just quickly look at what ending you need. So with that in mind, you also need to know, based on what tense the verb is, or the verb that we want, anyway, you have to know which principal part we're going to use. So I like having this sheet out because it gives you a nice visual. The tenses on the left are built from the second principal part, and the tenses on the right are built from the third. All right, so let's take a look. So we have our verb video, videre. We want it to be present tense, third person singular. And by the way, everything on our chart here is indicative and active. Okay, so we want third person singular. So as we saw on our sheet, present tense, we're going to use the second principal part. So first, second. Okay, we'll go ahead and circle it to let us know that's the one we're looking at. Okay, then you chop off the RE. Okay, this gives us our stem, which we can then just put right in there. And then we need third person singular ending for the present tense. So let's look. Present tense, first, second, third person, singular. Our ending is T. So, widet is our answer. Okay, well, let's look at number two. We have the verb naro, narare, narawi, naratum. All right, we want this in the second person plural of the imperfect indicative active. All right, so again, we can look at our chart and we see, oh yeah, okay, the imperfect tense, that's here on the left. It's built from the second principal part. So yet again, we go to that second principal part, we chop off the RE, and here we're left with nara, all right? And we're going to add our second person plural ending for the imperfect tense. So here the imperfect second person plural. Batis is our ending. So nara, batis is the answer. All right. We'll do one more here together to give you the idea that these things can change a little bit. So number three, amo, amare, amawi, amatum. Third person plural, perfect tense, indicative active. So if you go to your sheet and you look and you see, oh yeah, with the perfect, it's over here on the right. It's built from the third principal part. So you go first, second, third principal part. And to get your stem, you just chop off the I. Your stem is AMAV. And then we go back to our perfect. And we want third person plural. So first, second, third person plural. Erunt. Okay, so that will work for pretty much all of them except for number 9. And number 9, the reason it's a little weird is you look at the mood, and it's actually the only mood on our sheet here that that's not indicative. In fact, it's imperative. The command form, right? That's one of our moods. So, remember, based on your grammar notes from the other day, the way this works is, well, the ending for this does not really show up on here because remember, these are all indicative endings. But luckily, there's only 2 endings for the imperative. Actually, there's really only 1 because of the way that we form the imperative, which, going back to your grammar notes, remember, you go to your second principal part, you chop off the RE like always, and you can, you can write that in, and then remember, if it's singular, you can just leave it. The stem is actually the imperative. But here it looks like we want the plural. So to make this plural, we just add te, vocate. All right, so as promised, I'll go ahead and show you the answers. So you can correct your own work. As always, remember, just copying the answers doesn't help you, but I want to show them to you so you can work there yourself. And as always, too, if you have any individual specific questions about any of these, feel free to email me or ask, especially on our Zoom meetings. All right, so here are the rest of them. Okay, first few we did together. And of course, as we said, feel free to pause at any point as we go along here. Okay. Again, please don't forget, email me with any questions you have, or certainly stop by our Zoom office hours. All right, thank you, scholars. I will see you soon.